Before we set a single goal for 2026, I want to invite you into a different conversation. Most goal setting frameworks are built around discipline and force and achievement and ideas of success set by other people. But they rarely ask the most important question. Who are you becoming? Who are you being in this process? In this masterclass, we're not just going to be setting goals, we're aligning them with your authentic self, your nervous system, and your relationships, especially one with yourself, including your core values, not the ones you were conditioned with, but your true values. This is about creating a future that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. So if you've ever felt that you are maybe close to your goals or even hitting your goals or going above your goals, but yet you didn't feel connected and you felt depleted or like something was missing, or as soon as you hit it, you were off to the races to define another one. You know what? If that's how you've been operating, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath. And let go of what you think you're supposed to do next year. And let's design your 2026 from your truth, your core, instead of pressure. As we approach 2026, it's so crazy to even say that out loud. I want to ask you something most goal-setting conversations never touch. What if the problem isn't that you didn't try hard enough this year, but that you tried to become or be someone you're not? Most people set goals based upon who they think they should be, what they think they should have. They should be more disciplined. They should be more productive. They should be more successful. They should be richer. They should be more impressive. Whatever it is, authentic goals don't come from shoulds or from pressure. They come from authentic desire, aligned to your divine consciousness, your higher self, your inner awareness. So if 2026 is going to be different, it won't be because you did more or you hustled harder. It will be because you stopped abandoning yourself as you tried to achieve some target. So let's get started. I want to highlight the difference between goals based upon your ego and your authentic self. So how do you know? Well, a lot of times you actually don't know your authentic self yet. It's a process of like discovering what lights you up, what makes you feel good, what feels natural. And we don't often give ourselves that space, but we're going to today. So let's just explore together. You don't have to believe me, just explore it, try it on, see if it works for you. So ego-based goals, ones that are conditioned, ask, what will make me look successful? What will earn approval? What proves I'm enough? Now, I don't know very many people that ask it in those ways, but I do know a ton of people that say, what do I need to do to make more money? What do I need to do so that I can buy a second home? What do I need to do so that I can have a yacht? What do I need to do so that I can go on vacations whenever I want? What do I need to do so that I can buy things for the people that I love? What do I need to do so that I can be financially free and I can help my loved ones be financially free? A lot of these, right, if we got to the core of it, we would see that it's not the money. The money is an outcome, but it's because we feel the money is going to make us feel safe or it's going to make us feel enough. So we need to dive deeper. So if we are thinking about, well, how do I dive deeper? Other than our lovely why exercise, you can go to unlocklimitlessyou.com and you'll find some free resources there. One is getting to the root of it. It will help you get to the authentic goals. But for today, let's go this way. When you ask yourself, what actually matters to me now and why? And then you're like, well, why does that matter? And why does that matter? Getting to the root of it. Or what feels aligned for me in this season of my life? What worked for me 5 years ago might not be what I want now, but we haven't stopped to ask ourselves, how am I feeling now? What are my desires now? Have I changed? Have I grown? And then we ask, what supports the person I'm becoming, the authentic me? Like, those are not usually questions that we ask ourselves when we're setting business goals. But man, we should. If we're going to shit all over ourselves, let's use that one. I'm not going to shit on you. Let's just invite you to start thinking about what actually feels like it's aligned to your authentic core, what feels like it's freeing, like it's lifting. Ego goals are loud and urgent and judgmental. Authentic goals come from stillness and clarity and love and alignment. So if you want more pressure, focus on ego goals. If you want more peace and alignment, let's focus on our authentic goals. If you want to focus on pressure and ego goals, today's not for you. Just hop off right now. But if you're interested in peace, clarity, alignment, true freedom, let's keep going. So if you have a goal, look at them now or think about them. If you have a goal that requires you to override your values, to numb or silence your needs, to disconnect from relationships that are important to you, to sacrifice your health, if any of those things occur, it's not growth. It's just merely performance for what you think you should do. But it's not loving to you. So let's do something that feels loving to you, because we're all in this experience of life for love and freedom and connection. Whether we know it or not, that's what's going to light us up. So self-love isn't a reward you give yourself after you achieve a goal. So, when I get the promotion, then I'll take a vacation. When I make a certain amount of money, then I'll spend more time with my kids. Or when I, get the next goal, whatever it is that's outside of you, then I'll focus on my health. That is not self-love. That is not a reward that you wait for. Self-love is the lens through which you choose your way of being, through which you choose your actions, through which you set your course. Because if it's not loving to you, why are you doing it? Before setting a single goal for 2026, I want you to just pause and ask, what do I need to feel more grounded? What does grounded mean? Grounded means your mind isn't racing. You're not feeling a lot of pressure. You're not looking outside of you to figure out what's right for you. You're feeling grounded. You're feeling supported. You're feeling like you can trust yourself. You can guide yourself. And it can be done with peace and joy. So what do you need for that to happen? Next, ask yourself, what am I no longer willing to sacrifice? Quite often we have another, oh my gosh, so many fun things. Go to unlocklimitlessyou.com/resources. There's this fun thing called the limiting belief lie detector. So it helps you see that your subconscious mind, the programs that are driving you, that are causing you to sacrifice, actually think it's a solution to something it fears is worse. So for me, when I used to overwork, my mind said, even though that's causing you disconnection, your health is poor, you don't have any hobbies, you're not actually taking time for yourself, my subconscious mind says you need to do that so that you have enough money so that you can support your kids, so that you can survive, so that your kids have what they need? Well, logically, like if you just think about it, as I said it, that makes sense, right? But when you use your limiting belief lie detector, you look at the very thing I'm trying to do to love my children, to be a good role model for them, to provide for them. I was actually causing the thing that I feared. My health wasn't good. My temper was short. I was overworking. I wasn't present. And even when I was physically there, I was somewhere else in my mind. So the very thing that you do, if it feels like a sacrifice, it actually is. And why you think you're sacrificing it, all the good reasons, are just a lie. When you look at it closely, you'll see it's this limiting belief that your mind creates because it thinks it creates safety or enoughness. What I'm inviting you to explore is that it is possible to provide the things that really matter to the people that you really love and to be enough without extreme sacrifice. Don't believe me? Test it out. Ask yourself, what am I no longer willing to sacrifice? Or what am I sacrificing that I'm tough? I'm a hard worker. I can hustle just for this season. Oh my God, if I hear that one more time. Why do you have to? So just say, okay, let's pretend you don't. Just play with me. What am I sacrificing that I don't want to? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's time with the kids. Maybe it's time with your loved one, your partner, your spouse. Maybe it is, I want to go on vacation more often. Maybe it is, I just want to walk more often. I don't know what it is for you, but what do you want more of? What do you really desire that you're sacrificing? And then I want you to go get the limiting belief lie detector and the getting to the root of it. And I want you to explore, why do you sacrifice? And are you actually getting the return that you think you are on that sacrifice? My guess is we can be more creative, more powerful, and find another way. And, we'll explore a little bit today, but you can also book a call with me and we can begin that discovery at unlocklimitlessyou.com/call. But for now, think about, where have I been living out of obligation instead of desire? What does that mean? Where are you shoulding all over yourself? I should do this. I should do that. As a father, I should do this. As a wife, I should do that. As a daughter, I should do that. I don't know, whatever it is. But anywhere there's a should, it's an obligation. It's not a desire. And I used to think I had to do all those things. But now I know I can live from desire and achieve the things that I wanted to achieve, right? In a much more loving way for myself and for those that I care about, if I'm doing it from desire, my creative authenticity, than from a reluctant should. So let's look at that. Write those things down. So when we align our goals to our desires, to our authentic selves, we get so much energy back. You stop leaking energy because it doesn't take effort, not in the same way. When you have aligned goals, they will honor your capacity. They will make space for what is truly important to you. Relationships, health, presence, whatever it is. You have to decide. This isn't about lowering your standards or being lazy. It's about raising self-awareness and trust, right? You're not a quitter. You're not an I can't do it kind of person. So why have we silently been saying, I can't achieve my dreams and my desires without sacrifice? That's not you. So let's bring it to the forefront. Let's create clarity. Where are you indirectly and silently saying, I can't, when I know you're an I can kind of person? Think about that. So let's look at your goals now. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. If your goals don't include your relationships, they will compete with them. So there's something called the Limitless You, Limitless Life Compass that we work on together in my tribe. You can join us. It's every single week, Wednesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. You can get the information on our website. What we look at in that Limitless Life Compass is that we are going to align ourselves to our core, and from our core, act through authenticity. And from that, it impacts all facets of our life, whether it's career, it could be relationships, it could be health, it could be finances, it could be your way of being. There's 8 aspects that we look at. And what I'm saying here is that if you're setting a goal and it doesn't include the facets of your life from your core, you're going to compete with them. So for example, I used to get an A+ at work. Like I got the promotions early, I got the salaries, I got the good roles, but my health wasn't so great. I was overweight. I was living off caffeine. My relationships were non-existent with anybody other than the people that I was working all day with and all night with, I might add. That was our work family, right? Spirituality, forget it. I'm not talking about even going to church. I'm just talking about understanding my inner essence and who I am. It wasn't there. So when you are just looking microscopically at one part of your life, even if you're like, oh, I'm going to work really hard so that I have money for the family, or I have money for vacations, or I have money for health. If you're not including how to actually have time for those relationships and for your health and for the vacations, you're not going to find them. You're going to compete with them. And you're going to get an A+ in the money department, in the work department, but the rest you're not going to be satisfied with. So many people plan careers and finances, maybe even fitness, but then leave connection and relationships up to chance. So we as human beings are connected, whether we think we are or not. It's a part of our lifeline, it's a part of our essence. And so connection, first with yourself, that's the most important relationship you'll ever have, and with others, is super important. So it's not a nice to have. So for 2026, I want you to start including those types of questions so you're not competing with your connection. So I want you to ask, how do I want to feel when I'm by myself? How do I want to feel when I'm by myself? Do I want to feel like I can be at peace and I can be still and I can just be? Or do I want to feel like I always have to be going, doing, giving, hustling? If you're not comfortable just being by yourself and sitting in silence for, let's just say, 20 minutes, try it. There is a huge opportunity for you to have the most amazing relationship with yourself. One way, again, to just find out really quickly, easy and free, unlocklimitlessyou.com/quiz. It's 12 questions. It'll take you less than 5 minutes, and you can get an idea of what's your way of being with yourself and with others. So let's talk about those other people. How do I want people to feel around me? How do I want people to feel around me? Ask yourself, how do I want my family to feel around me? How do I want my colleagues or my employees to feel around me? How do I want strangers to feel around me? Write it down. And you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get what you are. So we need to really think about, how do you want to feel by yourself, and how do you want others to feel around you? And then let's ask, how might we create that? How might we be that? How might we attract that? Here's an interesting question. What does emotional availability look like in my life next year? What the heck is that, Yvonne? Emotional availability, vulnerability. To be able to feel emotions and not get stuck in them. To be able to share emotions from safety. To be able to feel emotions without fear. Can you feel all right if somebody's judging you? Can you feel good if you're operating in a space of the unknown? Can you feel safe sharing your emotions, maybe with even a loved one, and knowing that it's okay to feel and to share? When you do that, you create safety. Safety for you and safety for them. And if after being emotionally available, being vulnerable, sharing, you feel unsafe with those people, they might not be your people if they're not trying to grow and meet with you. Not that they're bad and not that you're good. They just might not be aligned to you. So how might we create our circle of people? How might we attract them in a way that we can be emotionally available and feel safe and loved? And as we think about how might we, what types of rhythms or patterns or habits, activities will create connection for you instead of depletion? So if you're working really hard and you're coming home and you just need to check out and you don't have energy to either play with your kids or go dancing with your spouse or just engaging in meaningful conversation, it's an opportunity to think about, how might I create a pattern of self-love so that I am not leaking energy, but I have the energy, boundless energy, for things that are loving to me and loving to those that I love. When goals are aligned in this way, you'll begin to find your authentic self. When you focus on connecting to the relationship you have with yourself, not as an afterthought, not when shit hits the fan, not when your business falls apart, not when you're getting divorced for the second time, not when you lose your job, not when you get cancer. Like, let's not move from desperation. Let's move from inspiration. And let's put attention on an intention to build a relationship that you have with yourself as a part of the design. And knowing when you start there, the relationship with others will fall into place. And then your career will fall into place and your goals will fall into place. And everything will feel so much easier. You know, you've heard of being in the pocket or being in flow. That's what they're talking about. You're not fighting upstream. You're not trying to hang on to a rock as the river flows. You are one with the energy of life and you flow with it. You see where it takes you. And instead of failures being stressful, you turn them into opportunities for growth, to learn, to decide what feels loving, what doesn't. So when there's resistance, when there's stress, when there's anxiety, when there's frustration, don't fight it. Bring it closer. What is it telling you? And then choose. So here's a simple way to think about if you want to set goals for 2026. Start with identity, not outcomes. Step 1. So I never did this in my 25 years at Accenture. In corporate America and federal agencies. Maybe in the last project we did a little bit of this. I take that back. With my last client, society started to wake up a little bit, but with a lot of resistance from a lot of people. Step 1, I'm going to say it again. Start with who you want to be, how you want to be, your way of being, not outcomes. So ask, for example, what I want to be like while I'm building my life or my business. How do I want to feel? How do I want others to feel around me? What do I want to be doing? What qualities do I want to embody or grow every day? We'll get to some core values, I think, very soon in the new year. We can work on those. Or you can reach out and I can send you something that you can do to help you align, because I want you to not think about who do other people want me to be. And sometimes it's even tricky. Sometimes your subconscious mind has conditioned you to think that you want those things. But actually, it's not your authentic desire. It's been conditioned at a very early age before you remember. And we can explore that with hypnosis and other things if you want to reach out. For now, ask yourself, what qualities do I really want to demonstrate and grow daily? Step 2, align with your nervous system. Not how much can I hustle and handle, right? Oh my gosh, I used to do that all the time. It's not that you're weak. If you ask this question, it actually means that you're wise. What pace feels good to me? Not sustainable. Because you guys are amazing and you can sustain a lot of crap. What pace feels good? When can I operate in a way where I retain my calm and my clarity and my creativity and my curiosity? We already know, and we've talked about this before, when you are operating out of hustle and stress, you're in convergent thinking and you're narrowing your focus because you feel like you have to get to a solution and it has to hit this goal. That's the ego goal. When you operate from a relaxed state, your creativity, your curiosity, you can ideate and see things you didn't before, and the aperture opens up into divergent thinking, and you see things you couldn't see before when you're fight, flight, or freeze. That's why we're not going for survival and sustainable. We're going for something that supports calm, clarity, creativity, ease. Because that's when you're your best self. That's when you really start to tap into your capabilities. So, what do you need so that your nervous system can remain calm and at peace, so that it can be creative, innovative, amazing, limitless you? Just try it. I didn't believe it was possible before I started my awakening either, but just try it. Just see. Test it out. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's okay. I can handle that now. I didn't used to be able to handle that. Try it out. See how your life changes and you stop hustling and you start creating a pace that feels good, where calm and creativity can live and thrive. Step 3. Filter everything through self-love. What does that mean? Think about it. So when you're in decision-making mode, sometimes it happens automatically, especially for entrepreneurs in a fast-paced world. I want you to slow down a little bit and check the deal. The real deal. Is this goal loving to me? You know, so many entrepreneurs go that path because they want financial freedom, or just freedom in general to do what they want, when they want, with who they want. But then they're so busy. They're always hustling. And maybe they stop once or twice a year. Hopefully that's not you. But if it is, check the real deal. Is the entrepreneur lifestyle that you've created and are operating under, is it a healthy operating procedure, or is it a stuck operating procedure? I'm not going to judge you. You check the real deal. Are you getting what you wanted? Do the goals you set respect the boundaries you need to be healthy? Do the goals that you're contemplating for 2026 create expansion without pressure? If it's not loving to you, you are not going to be your best self. You're going to create burnout, or maybe you don't completely burn out, but you're not going to be your best self. And if you're not your best self, you're not doing your business, your employees, or your loved ones any favors. So check the real deal. Step 4, integrate relationships. Again, don't necessarily just believe me, just test it out. Ask yourself, how does this goal support connection, not just achievement? What? If you set a goal and you're like, I'm going to have to work really, really hard and it's going to be stressful and all these things, right? And you don't have any time for yourself, or you have a little bit of time for your loved ones, but not yourself. Or the other way around, you have it for yourself, but not for loved ones in your life. Or maybe loved ones you haven't got in your life yet, but you sure wish you could attract. Just try setting goals that support connection and then, quote unquote, achievement. You might create this success in a way that you didn't even know you wanted, or the success you've always wanted begins to show up and it actually feels like success on the inside, not just on the outside. So when a goal passes all four of these steps, it's going to be aligned. If you've started with who you want to be, if you aligned your goals to your nervous system so they feel like you can remain calm and clear and creative, if you've thought about, is this loving to me? And you've integrated your relationships with yourself, with others either in your life or that you're going to attract to your life, you're going to be more aligned. And you're going to get the success not just on the outside, but on the inside. So to do these things, I'm not asking you to do more. I'm actually asking you to do less. So how do you do that? Well, part of authentic goal setting is letting go of things that no longer fit. How many of you have just added goals, metrics, goals, metrics, goals, metrics? And then it becomes quantity versus quality. Some of them might be good goals, but they might not be aligned with you. Or maybe they're aligned with you, but not in 2026. You don't have to do it all and keep it all. So let's release some goals. Let's retire anything that was created in order to prove something. Prove you're enough, prove you're credible, prove anything you don't need to prove. Just by being your authentic self, that's going to be more valuable than any goal that you were chasing to try and prove something. Number 2, let go of any goals that require chronic self-sacrifice. Yes, I said it. I don't want you sacrificing. You're going to go get that limiting belief lie detector, and you're going to see that what you're sacrificing, the reason you were doing it, isn't working, and you're actually creating the thing that you don't want. So just release anything that requires chronic self-sacrifice. And then as you explore this path with me and what you do outside of our time together, and you become more of the version of you that you want to be and more of the authentic you, and you're expanding and you're growing into your higher self, look at any goals that don't fit you anymore. So many of them belong to a past version of you. But sometimes we resist letting things go. Declutter. Make space. When you let go, you're not failing. You're being discerning. You're being selective. You're choosing your way of being. You're choosing how you want your life to unfold versus having it being done to you. You're leading. So 2026, again, is not something that, calendar switching. I need to drive harder. I need to be more. I need to sell more. I need to blah, blah, blah. It doesn't need to be a more driven version of you. Not many people will tell you that. What I want it to be is a more, let's say, honest version of you. A more authentic version of you, driven from your authentic core, the integrity of who you are, so that you're not running your life from limiting beliefs that were just lies, accidentally or intentionally conditioned in you. So when your goals are aligned with this inner essence, this authentic self, whatever you want to call it, you're going to know it because you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more alive. You're going to feel more energy. Progress will feel cleaner. Relationships are going to feel safer. Success doesn't feel like it's a stress goal. It just feels like exciting and spacious, a place to create and explore. That sounds more enjoyable to me. Does it sound more enjoyable to you? Remember, you're not here to chase worth. You're here to live from it. And you were given it. It's inherently a part of you. You are enough. And there's only one of you. So don't rob the world of who you were created to be and become. As you set your goals for 2026, ask the question, does this goal reflect who I truly am and want to be, or who I was taught or conditioned to be? Can keep it super simple. If we had to say all the things I've asked you to ask, just simply ask this question. Does this goal reflect who I truly am or who I want to be? Where did it come from? Does it come from who I was taught to be or who I thought I should be? And then just choose accordingly. You got this. I can't wait to hear and see you becoming more of the authentic you. Let us know how it works. Send a message to joy@unlocklimitlessyou.com. Let us know. Is this helpful? What do you really need? Let's work at this together so that it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun exploration. Your life can be limitless, and you can be limitless you. As we close, I want you to remember this. Alignment is not passive, it's powerful. It's not lazy, it's wise. Choosing goals that honor your authentic self is one of the most courageous decisions you can make. You explore the unknown rather than fear it. You got what it takes. I believe in you. And in this world that we live in that rewards burnout and performance, I need you for you, to be you, to wake up, to not burn out. As you step into 2026, let your goals be an extension of self-love. Let them support your relationships. Let them reflect the truth of who you are now. And I'm not defining that truth, and nobody else should either. You will know by the way that you feel. You don't need to become more to be worthy of the life you want. You just get to stop abandoning yourself. And by doing that, you'll choose alignment. You'll be present. And you'll be the authentic, limitless you. Exactly as you were created to be. Take care.